Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today I am coming to you with the March box, and I am super excited to show you this because this is such a beautiful box. So the first thing that I want to show you is some of the things that you will get in there, and this is the stencil. Look how gorgeous that stencil is. All these beautiful flowers are on there. I love this stencil. Very, very nice. And then we have our transfer paper. It comes already printed, ready to use, just absolutely gorgeous and colorful and perfect for springtime. And we also have our mold, and you can see it's like little flowers with the little drops, and this could be the top of the earring. Just absolutely beautiful. You can use this with resin and clay. Now this is part of like the earring and the actual like CreateAlong monthly box. So you have the earring kit and then you have the monthly box. So the bigger cutters will be in the monthly box. I absolutely love these. These are very detailed ones. I'll show you quickly. I actually made these 2 pairs of earrings using these cutters. So you could do a lot with those cutters. Love them. You will also get these 3 stamps, and they're beautiful as well. You just kind of clip it in and then turn it, and then you can just press it onto your clay. So those are the ones that you will get this month. In the earring box, you get the smaller cutters, which are the mirrored flowers, and then these really cool. I love these as well. So I'm going to turn them upside down so you can actually see that this particular one is detailed. And this is going to be a fun cutter. So you could do flowers, just all kinds of really cool things with it. It has this beautiful pink mica powder it comes with. And I am loving these small stamps that she's given out now. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. You can see little peacocks in here. So I can't wait to use this. And then you get the bigger stamp as well. So these have like, it almost looks like little leaves, and then taller leaves. These are like little flowers here. This is just beautiful. So that's going to make a really cool texture onto your clay. And then you also get the silk screen. I love this silk screen. You can see better through the white. It's just called Daisy Meadow. It's beautiful. So you get a lot within these 2 kits here. I absolutely love these kits, and I can't wait to work with them. Today we are going to work on some things. The first thing that we are going to start with is our white Primo clay. I have this rolled out to my middle section on my pasta machine. And we are going to be doing our transfer paper because I love this transfer paper, and I felt like I absolutely had to use this one right away. So first I am just going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to lay it onto my clay, and then just burnish it on, so to speak, onto your clay. You want to make sure you have good contact between your transfer paper and your clay. And I always love to make sure that it's completely on there. And I'll let this sit for 3 to 5 minutes just to make sure that it is going to work 100% properly. I love waiting just a little bit, you know, I love giving it a little bit of time just to make sure that that is really on to my clay. So I'm going to let that sit there for a few minutes. While that's sitting there, I'm going to open up my second pack of Primo clay. I'm just going to go with my white. And I only need a small amount, so I'm going to probably just cut out, I'm going to say maybe half a bar. And I probably won't even need that much. Actually, I know I won't need that much. Let's go, well, let's just do half a bar. So I'm going to get my rolling pin. I'm just going to roll this out. And then I'm going to run this through my pasta machine. And I'm going to do my middle section again, because we're going to use this stencil, and I want to make sure that I have a nice little impression on my clay. So the middle section is like perfect. Okay, so I have this rolled out to my middle section on my pasta machine. The next thing I want to do is take my can, and I am going to put my clay adhesive on here. Make sure you get the sides as well. It's very important to get the sides, because you want to make sure that your clay sticks to this can. Okay. Now I'm going to take my clay. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to try my best to make sure no bubbles are in here. Let me... They have bubbles. Just poke and then push them out. Because these cans or tins, unfortunately, are kind of prone to getting bubbles underneath. And all I'm doing is kind of cutting the sides here to make it easier to bend down. Now I'm gonna go around my tin. Okay, so now I want to take my blade and go right to the bottom of the tin. And you'll see it. And start cutting right around. There we go. Okay. Now I want to smooth everything out here. And right here you can see our little hinges. We're going to cut that area out. Now I'm also going to push this into place here. You'll see that I'm pushing it down, making sure that it matches up with the lip. All right, so right here, I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to notch that little area out. This way, you could open and close your tin real nice. And then I'm going to just take it and kind of just mush it down a little bit so it's much, much thinner in that area. If you don't end up like notching those out, it just won't open and close right. So I like to kind of lift it and make sure that I have the proper amount of room there. All right, now I can go around the whole piece and smooth it out. Okay, I'm gonna get my sponge and then I'm gonna start texturing my piece. And the reason I'm doing this is because all those little flaws will be hidden. Now I can also feel where air is, so I can push it out as well. Okay, look over your piece. Make sure that it's the way that you want it. Put that off to the side. Okay, so next we need to get our blade. And we're going to start taking our paper off. So just take your blade and then carefully slide your blade right over your piece. And that's going to take off all this paper. Look at all that. How easy is that? Now you'll feel there's still some stuff over here. So either dunk this into a bowl or run it under your sink to get the rest of the film off. Okay, so my piece is rinsed off. I'm going to just take a towel here and I'm going to just do a quick little blot of it to get some of it dried off. And now I'm going to kind of get an idea how much of this I need, so I know where I need to cut it. And that's about all that I'm going to need for this particular project right here. Now, this is still sticky, so I want to make sure this is completely dry before I start playing with it, because it will eventually get screwed up if you don't wait for it to dry. So let's give that a little bit of time to completely dry. And while that's doing that, we could get everything else prepped and ready. I'm just going to trim off the white because we don't want the white on there. Okay, so it's slightly still sticky, but not too bad. So my next step is I want to, hold on. I want to put my adhesive on here. And keep it closed because you're not going to be able to do the entire thing. You're only going to be able to go up here. So keeping it closed is going to be able to tell you exactly where you can and cannot put your piece. If your piece is still sticky and it doesn't seem to like kind of be not getting sticky, I guess, just work. I'm going to show you exactly what to do because mine is not, mine is kind of staying sticky a little bit. So I'm going to show you how to work with a sticky piece when you're doing a big project like this. And then carefully lift your piece up. This way. Going to go down slowly. And then I'm just going to very carefully kind of bend it over. Okay. Let's take our blade, follow it around the edge. Very, very carefully. Keep that because you can make little studs or something out of that if you want. All right, so now I need to pull this. Oh, I wish this was not sticky. Now I want to kind of press the edges down a little bit. Let's get our white clay. And we're going to roll this out long ways. Same setting, middle section of your pasta machine. Okay, so I have it rolled out. And what I want to do is just straighten out the top here. Just give it a nice straight line. And give it one straight edge to work with. And then I'm going to put it up right over the very top of my transfer paper. and carefully just turn it. All right, so it tore there, so I'm going to cut it right here, and then I'll line it up again. I want to try to get that as straight as I can to make it easier. Line that up. Okay, so I'm going to make this section straight down, and then I'm going to line those up. And put those together. Pushing your sides. I want to do the same thing that I did to the top and just smooth everything out. We want to get as close to the edge as we can. You could use a sponge or a silicone tool. And then let's cut these little notches out here again. That way you have that little space so it can open properly. All right, so I'm going to carefully take my sponge and go around the sides, and that's going to help really press everything together and kind of secure it into place as well. Take any fuzzies off that might be there from your sponge. See how nice that sponge is making the edge go right up to where it needs to go? It's so much easier than using your hand. It just kind of pushes everything exactly where it needs to be. And then you're not tearing your clay either. All right, so I'm going to set this on my little plastic here. And then I'm going to get my stencil. I'm going to put my stencil right where I want it. Now I'm going to start kind of pushing down on it. Let me get my deli paper. And I'm just going to kind of burnish it into the top here. Okay, so next I'm going to get my mica powder and a small paintbrush. And then carefully I'm going to go over my piece here. And take your time on this so you don't get it where you don't want it. Okay, carefully pull it up. If you got anything on the white, let me put that down carefully. where you didn't want the mica powder, take a baby wipe and just wipe it off. All right, and that's what we got. You could take the leftover that you have here. We can edge it off a bit if we wanted to. Let's see if we have some small cutters that maybe we can do something. We'll do a couple tiny leaf shapes. And we could put these around the edges. Get my little ball tool, and I can actually just push it down right on each edge to make sure it stays into place. So now I'll put this in the oven, 275, because it's Primo clay, for a half hour. And then we'll come back and finish it up completely. All right, guys, so our piece is out of the oven. It's cooled off. Next thing we want to do is open our box. And we want to make sure that this area is clean, because you can see I got some clay there. So that means that's going to kind of get in the way of opening and closing. So we just want to kind of take our knife and clean that off. Just get that big chunk out of there. There we go. There. Okay. I just like to clean everything up. Take my blade and just kind of flatten it out a little bit there. Get any parts that might be sticking up from when we smoothed it out. Do this slowly so you don't slip. You definitely don't want to cut yourself. Okay, so now you know that's going to close nice. Nothing's going to be in the way. Now we just got to make sure that this area here opens nicely, which it does. So then we know our box can be used. And the last thing we want to do is just put some of our Sculpey satin glaze or gloss glaze, whatever glaze you have, on here to protect our mica powder and our transfer paper. So I just like to squirt it on there, and then I'll take my paintbrush and I'm just going to go right over the transfer paper. Go right around. And I love that you could use this for just about anything. You can put this right in your purse, keep it on your dresser, whatever you want to use it for, you can. So it's fantastic. It's just a nice little, I don't want to say a keepsake box. It can be, but it's just a nice little box to keep things all together. And once that's dry, we'll have our box ready to use. Here it is, guys. It's completely dry. It's beautiful. I absolutely hope that you enjoyed creating this piece with me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.